Did you know that 64% of men between the ages of 18 to 29 are single, and that over 57% of single adults in the United States said they weren't interested in dating at all? We live in a dating crisis. Well, we live in an everything crisis, and dating is just a small part of what has been affected. Over 364 million people use dating apps worldwide as of 2025, and 60 million of these are in the United States alone. Active users spend, on average, 80 minutes per day on these apps, and dating apps earned $4 billion last year on just Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. Dating has become an extremely profitable industry, milked by tech startups to extract as much value as possible out of lonely people seeking connection. Your emotional needs are being commodified, and these companies have found a way to manipulate you into giving them money to fix the void caused by an increasingly complicated social landscape, and it's doing nothing for you. And because of this situation, it's easy to feel hopeless, as if you're going to be single forever. After a long antisocial day of school or work, you open up a dating app to swipe on hundreds of pictures of attractive people to no avail, and then pretend like you don't care just to feel better about the entire situation. But maybe, just maybe, if you subscribe to the premium version of that cute little app you're using, you'll have a better shot. The feeling will go away, I promise. Just give Tinder $25 per month and all of your social and environmental needs will be filled, and you'll live happily ever after. Trust me, I understand why it seems hopeless and how the idea of finding a girlfriend or a boyfriend is a cause that is beyond help. And I get why so many people don't want to deal with it and have completely checked out of the dating market altogether. It's just not worth the exhaustion and the negative feelings that surround the entire process, so why try? And that's the state of where we are today. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be this way? That there's actually a way to fix your dating life, to experience the fullness of connecting with other people, and to eventually find someone who gets you for who you are. And if you give me until the end of this video, I hope that I can give you a bit of optimism that you have a chance in the dating market, that I can give you the little push that you need to get started on something that can completely change your life. Now, this is where a typical YouTube video on this topic would go into detail about how you have to follow a 10-step plan and subscribe to some slimy YouTube guru's online course, and bada bam, bada boom, look at that, you now have 10 girlfriends, a bunch of money in your pocket, the perfect body, a 4-hour work week, and the social capital to DM anyone you want on Instagram and instantly become best friends with them. But that's not the point of this video. I mean, did you notice that this video has Minecraft gameplay in the background? Yeah, we're tired of all of that garbage, and this channel is trying to bring the internet back to Earth, to reality. So if you like this video or the mission here, consider supporting me on Patreon using the link in the description. It's a great way to show that you like these videos, and it supports me because I'm never going to be taking sponsorships, brand deals, or anything like that on this channel. So if you like this video and it helps you and you want to support, consider checking it out in the description. So back to the topic of dating, how do you start? What is the first step? Well, it starts with getting off dating apps and taking a break from social media. Dating apps are perceived as the best and sometimes the only way to meet other people in present day. In fact, I think most people would find dating apps a prerequisite for dating, and you probably can't meet people at all unless you actively use them. But this just isn't true. I met my girlfriend the second I got off dating apps, and I firmly believe that they are one of the things that are hurting the dating market the most and causing the most people to feel more helpless than ever before. When you outsource your dating efforts to an app, sorted by an algorithm and full of user-created profiles, you give up a very natural element of how dating has always worked. Everyone with a Tinder or Hinge profile specifically curates their image to appear in a way that they think will attract the most other people. Pictures are snapped from the perfect angle in the coolest places with the best lighting and the best vibes to show how cool and interesting you are. Your prompts and your bio are curated to showcase your humor, your amazing personality traits, and your super interesting and diverse range of hobbies. You have to successfully convince every single person that you swipe on that you're even worth their time, and if you don't do a good job at doing that, you will never get any matches. This is not a natural way to date other people, and it's caused people's expectations, including yours, to be insanely unrealistic. If someone doesn't look attractive, you can say that you aren't interested from the jump. If they support a political movement that you don't agree with, you can pre-select and screen out everyone who isn't aligned with you. If they aren't blonde or below a certain height or aren't interested in drinking alcohol, you could filter your search and only see people who meet your exact criteria. While this sounds good on the surface, it makes it so that people on dating apps expect everyone they see to have zero flaws whatsoever. It's like starting a Fallout New Vegas run and having infinite points to put into every category on your character. That's the expectation. I mean, if you already filtered to craft your dream person and then you match with them, you're going to be disappointed when you find out that they have this one thing that really bothers you. When they aren't as attractive in person, when they aren't as funny as their profile prompts make you think they are, or when they're just a little less exciting than you originally thought, you give up and go back on the app to find the next one. This is why you often get ghosted on apps when you match with someone. I mean, they swiped on you, so you'd think they like you, but halfway through your conversation, they get bored and now you're sitting there confused and frustrated. This is why you can have some conversations but never get a date. And this is why sometimes you don't get any matches to begin with. If you can't successfully curate a profile, entertain the other person like a clown at a circus for the entirety of your conversation, and somehow land a date without them losing interest or getting cold feet, then you're toast. And online dating is going to be extremely unsuccessful for you. But it's okay because there are tens of thousands of other options in your area, so you aren't attached to the outcome and you can just go back to swiping until you find one that actually works out. Why am I saying this? Because it was me. I barely got any matches when I was on dating apps, and when I would have a good conversation, most of the girls would lose interest for no reason halfway through. If I ever did successfully manage to secure a date, I wasn't ever convinced that the girl really wanted to be there and that they were just trying to see if it would work because they were lonely. If the date did go well, which most of the time it didn't, I wouldn't really feel like having another one with them. It felt forced and pointless, and every girl had some sort of flaw that made me not excited to pursue them, and I never felt as if I was making girls excited to continue talking to me either. Throughout college, I spent collective years on dating apps, swiping through God knows how many people to try to find someone. And throughout all this time, I landed a handful of mediocre dates, and that was it. And this is also the case for pretty much all of my friends too. I've mentioned this before, but I have a ton of friends who are still actively using dating apps to this day, some of them swiping through thousands of people per month, going on quite a few dates, and still ending up single and hopeless at the end of the day, so I know I am not alone here. Because here's the thing. When you have the perception of endless options, you attach no value to the ones that you do have. The one girl who only checks off some of the boxes for you can wait because a better one may reach out tomorrow, and this hypothetical girl may have all the boxes checked off. The message that you send to the girl on the app that you think seems cool doesn't need much effort put into it, because you can just send 100 other messages over the next hour, copy and paste, and hope for the best. The whole system becomes a statistical game, and the human element of dating is thrown completely out the window. And this is just the online part, the part that's confined to your screen and your apps. But this mindset carries over into the real world as well. Now, with the idea that through these apps you can define the exact type of girl you're looking for and give simple, preemptive yes or no responses based on what you think about these people, you do the same thing in the real world. If you see someone in public, but maybe they aren't quite the girl you envisioned yourself with, you don't take a chance and talk to them. There are plenty of fish in the online sea, so who cares if you miss an opportunity to say hi to a girl who catches your eye at a coffee shop? In fact, talking to girls in real life isn't even in the realm of possibilities anymore. It's way easier, way less uncomfortable to swipe, send some cheesy pickup lines that you found on Reddit, and hope for the best without any risk of true rejection. Worst case, if a girl says she isn't interested or doesn't respond, you can block her or unmatch and move on to the next one the exact same minute. The ones in real life become interchangeable with the ones online, with the online ones replacing the opportunities in the real world and making it so that you have no incentive to talk to them without using the app as a shield. Now, that was a lot, but I think you understand my point. In the grand scheme of dating, online apps end up taking priority over real-life interactions, making you forget that, before dating apps, real life was the only way to meet new people. Our parents, grandparents, and pretty much anyone in the dating market for all of modern history started their relationships by walking up, introducing themselves, saying hi, and most importantly, feeling uncomfortable. It's not natural to feel this comfortable all the time with dating, and by removing any and all anxiety or nervousness through the shield of a screen, you're missing out on what dating really means. So you need to delete these dating apps to bring dating back to the real world. You need to notice people that you're attracted to in the physical world, and you need to tell yourself that talking to these people in person is the only way that you're going to get a meaningful date. Forget that the apps even exist, and once you force yourself to use real-life interactions as your only options, you'll feel more inclined to walk up to someone in public and start that conversation. I realize that this is much easier said than done. Getting the confidence to walk up to someone in public, smile at them, and say something that isn't completely moronic is a lot to ask, and even thinking about this process can be anxiety-inducing for a lot of people. What do you say? What should you do? Should you ask for her number? The list of questions goes on. But let's take a step back here. Before you worry about any of this stuff, you need to put yourself in a physical environment where you're around people that share similar interests or hobbies. You need to be in spaces where human interaction is easy to begin with, and it'll take a lot of the guesswork out of those conversation starters. Go to coffee shops, even if you aren't a coffee shop guy, and hang out. Sit at those big community tables where there's a chance that other people are near you. Don't go out and order a coffee to go and say you tried. Don't sit in the corner facing away from everyone and say you tried. You need to put yourself in places where you can interact with other humans. Join a club of some kind, start a new hobby like rock climbing, take your dog to a dog park, go grab a beer at a brewery with a friend and sit at the bar. The options are endless. All you really have to do here is find a place where you see people just hanging out and put yourself in those places. And for God's sake, when you get there, don't go on your phone and scroll on TikTok. Don't wear headphones and listen to solace videos. Don't close yourself off. Make it so that you seem as if you're open to talking to other people. And do it often so that you have more chances. These places are where you start to see opportunities to talk to other people. Yeah, if you see a pretty girl across the bar and she's making eye contact with you from 85 yards away in a group of 13 people, it's pretty damn hard, if not impossible, to find a way to talk to her. You have to get up, walk over, think of something to say that you can relate to her with, navigate her friend group, and not look stupid while doing all of this. It's a lot of steps and there's a lot that can go wrong. But if a girl is sitting next to you at the dog park and you think she's cute, it's a lot easier to casually strike up a conversation. Ask her what kind of dog she has, how old her dog is, or something about what she's reading or wearing or listening to. Ask questions. Don't think about how you can throw a sleazy compliment in to make it clear that you like her. Don't say some stupid pickup line that you saw on Reddit. Talk to her like a normal human being and have no real goal other than a fun conversation. From here, she'll get a feel for your vibe, and if you seem cool and she enjoys the conversation, you will know. Don't instantly assume that you're making her insanely uncomfortable just by talking to her. Don't assume that she hates you and she thinks you're ugly and that you smell bad. Because the thing is, she would walk away and move somewhere else if this was the case. If the conversation continues and naturally flows between the both of you, then there's some chemistry and consider hanging out and asking for her number eventually. If the conversation feels dry and you have to keep thinking about things to say and she's looking away and she seems uninterested, then drop it. Don't ask anything, just accept the fact that this wasn't it and move on, proud of the fact that you struck up the conversation to begin with. I mean, think about it. If you were using a dating app, you wouldn't ask a girl on a date when she hasn't responded to 3 messages in a row. You'd start a conversation, feel it out, and if she seems interested, then maybe you'd ask her on a date. Why would it be any different in the real world? So just go with the flow, and you don't really have to think about what you should be doing. Have a normal conversation and kind of read the room to see if she's interested or not. If she's not, she probably will make it very clear that she's not, and then you know not to embarrass yourself by asking for her number. But if the conversation seems to be going well, then it's time to actually make a move. You just have to put yourself out there in the real world, chat like you're chatting to anyone else on the planet, and if it goes well, give it a shot. If it doesn't go well and she thinks you're weird and says she has to go, then who cares? The fact that you even went out of your comfort zone to talk to her is something that you should genuinely feel proud of. If you keep doing this and get more experience socializing in the real world without the shield of dating apps or social media, you'll start to see a lot of progress in your confidence and it'll get much easier every single time. And when you do get a conversation that goes well, because I promise you it will happen eventually, ask for the girl's number. Again, this is another thing that doesn't take a lot of strategy. You don't have to be smooth or cool or whatever. If the conversation's going good and you've been talking for 10 or 15 minutes and you get the vibe that she's actually kind of enjoying it, just tell her the truth. Explain how you really like talking to her and ask if you can get her number. Talk about how you're trying to meet new people in your area and that she seems interesting, and ask for her number. It's actually far more casual than you'd think, and I think many people would prefer a more human approach like this instead of some stupid pickup line that they've heard 1,000 times. If she's single and maybe she's interested in getting to know you more, she'll give you her number. If she isn't into you or if she has a boyfriend, she'll probably tell you. Sure, she may give you your number simply because she doesn't like confrontation and doesn't want to say no, but even then, this isn't a big deal because one of three things will happen from this interaction. 1, she does like you and you get her number and start talking. 2, she doesn't like you or isn't interested and she'll say no and won't give you her number. Or 3, she'll lie and give you her number just because she doesn't want to say no because she's a nice person. Number 1 and 3 seem hard to tell the difference between, but they aren't, because if she doesn't answer the first text you send her in a day or so, she probably isn't interested and it probably was option 3. But even here, in the worst case scenario of the 3 options, what really happens? You gained valuable dating experience, and dude, do you see how much progress you just made? You should be proud of what you did, getting out, getting uncomfortable, and asking a girl for her number. Sure, maybe she didn't text back and you feel a bit disappointed, but I promise you the next girl that you're interested in will be a lot easier to talk to. And if after all of this, she does actually like you for who you are, you'll easily be able to keep texting her. The first text just needs to be something like, "Hey, it's Solace, met you at the dog park. It was really nice to chat with you. I'm going back on Friday, would you like to join?" Again, there's starting to be a pattern here, and it's just to be natural with this kind of stuff and stop attaching so much value to every word, comment, and interaction that you have with people in public. If you guys have personalities that align, the conversation will flow. And if the conversation feels terrible, I'm going to be honest with you, it probably wouldn't work out anyways, so who cares? Now, most importantly, keep in mind that you need to be yourself. If you pretend to be someone else in these interactions, people will pick up on it, and I promise you they will see right through it. So don't say the things that you think the other person wants to hear. Say how you really feel and think, and if they don't like it, then they probably aren't the one for you anyways. There was a lot of information here, but the key takeaway is this. There are plenty of fish in the sea, but they're in the real-life sea, and they require real-life effort to date. People are tired of dating apps. I mean, look, you're tired of them, so why would you assume that this isn't the case for others as well? People are longing for human interaction, and by getting out there and socializing, making yourself available, and going with the flow while getting social practice, your dating success is going to be much better than it would be just sitting on Tinder, sliding into people's DMs on Instagram, and hoping a girlfriend is going to appear at your door overnight. Doing this does increase your risk of rejection, but every person who isn't interested gives you valuable experience, helps you learn more about yourself, and helps your social skills outside of dating. These improved social skills can change your life in other areas. They can help you make new friends, do well at work, and so many other things. So I know it's hard, but give it a try, it may just work. What are your thoughts on all of this? What has your dating experience been like? Have you tried this? Has it worked? Let me know in the comments because there are so many people in this community who can help you figure it out. And if you want to connect with these people and make new friends to go through this stuff together, consider joining the Discord linked in the description. We have over 2,000 members who are all like-minded and here for personal development, so hop in, introduce yourself, and let's chat. That's it for today's conversation, and we will talk again soon.